So a couple weeks ago, I was browsing some games media websites because sometimes journalists decide to do their job instead of bitching about the. This is where I found an article by PC Games N from about 7 months ago. It was titled, "New Sandbox RPG Doloc Town Combines Fallout, Terraria, and Stardew Valley." In this article, the author discusses the demo of the game, which at that time was fresh. Now, the game is in early access. So I thought to myself, why not check it out? And now we have this video, which is my impressions of the early access of Doloc Town. I want to get this out of the way first. Comparing Doloc Town to Fallout and Terraria is misguided. Aside from the post-apocalyptic setting, Doloc Town has almost nothing in common with the Fallout franchise. The Terraria comparison is nearly just as ill-fitting. Sure, it's a 2D side-scroller, but it doesn't have the bullet hell combat or any of the excavation and spelunking that Terraria is known for. I guess you could say the crafting is somewhat similar, but I don't think somewhat similar is comparison-worthy. Likening the game to Stardew Valley, on the other hand, is pretty spot on. There are plenty of crops to grow, NPCs to form relationships with, as well as farm and town progression. Basically, what I'm saying is, if Doloc Town was a cheeseburger, the meat and buns would be Stardew Valley, the cheese would be Terraria, and the spices that go on the meat, which they're there, I promise, I put them in there, those are Fallout. If I were to not use other games or a poorly made food analogy as an example to describe Doloc Town, I'd describe it as a cozy post-apocalyptic farming sim with light Metroidvania gameplay. Doloc Town was developed by Red Saw Games, a studio based in China. This appears to be their first foray into game development, and since it's a new studio, there's not much I can say about their track record with releases and post-launch support. Furthermore, I'll try to keep things pretty light here since the game is in early access, and I've never really discussed a sandbox game on this channel in any sort of depth. While I did say Stardew Valley is a good comparison to Doloc Town, in reality, Doloc Town does a lot of unique things. For example, instead of just hoeing around as in most farming sims, you'll have to build a plant basin. Each basin has a specific crop that can be grown within them. Some can only grow vines, others fungi, and so on. When you inevitably run out of room for your crop empire, you'll have to build upward using platforms. You'll also have the opportunity to research plants to unlock more seeds as the game progresses. Doloc Town has a few weather types. Weather is determined by the type of month. I believe there are 3. Mild, wet, and dry. The weather is more frequent and plays a much bigger role than in other farming sims. The 3 extreme weather effects I ran into were acid rain, which damages both your home and crops, but you'll be able to protect your crops with plastic mulch and repair your home using some other item, I forgot what it was called. Heat waves will dry out your crops. You can keep them moist by using plastic mulch again. You'll also have to create water reserves as heat waves will dry up the well on your farm. Thunderstorms are the most mundane. All you gotta do is set up a lightning rod or 2 to mitigate the damage to your house and crops. I suppose I'll include crafting and fishing in this section too. The crafting is quite a bit more complex than Stardew Valley, but if you've played any other game with crafting at the forefront, it's not that much different. You've seen it all before. There are 3 tech trees that you use to unlock new recipes: agricultural, industrial, and life. Further nodes are unlocked by using field study, tech research, and tool operation points. These points are increased by doing specific activities. Not gonna lie, I find crafting in most games to be boring. Doloc Town doesn't really do anything to change that. Fishing doesn't really do anything new either. You just cast your rod into water and play a rhythm-based minigame. Neither of these systems really do anything new, but I don't think that's necessarily bad, except for in the case of crafting, because I already don't like it. Like most farming sims, Doloc Town centers around a small town and the colorful cast of characters within it. each having their own character design, personality, likes, dislikes, and schedules. I can't give you too much info on how relationships progress since I was more invested in upgrading my gear than talking to people, but I did befriend a robot named Villain by giving him beer. He must have been built in Wisconsin. One thing of particular note is the game is lacking romance options, and it appears they're not going to be in the game as per the devs' own words. It's not a deal breaker for me, but it probably would be a deal breaker for like creepy weirdos that play cozy games for shipping purposes, which to be frank is probably a lot of the people that play cozy games. The town of Doloc is a shanty town built within a canyon. The buildings are repurposed train cars, shipping crates, all ramshackled together to create a living space. I love shanty towns aesthetically. I obviously wouldn't want to live in one, but I just think they're neat. When you're not sweating your ass off on the farm or talking to the denizens of Doloc Town, you'll probably be exploring the wider world. There are multiple smaller biomes you can enter, like an abandoned city and a forest. This game has quite a bit of platforming in it. It's nothing difficult. You'll primarily be jumping around using your jetpack to gain distance or wall jumping. Some areas ask players to display some semblance of skills, but it never felt overwhelming. In fact, I'd argue that the platforming might be a little bit too easy, but I guess that comes with the territory of it being a cozy game. Combat is primarily fought through drones. The player can have one drone with them at a time, which they can equip with a variety of weapons and gadgets. Unfortunately, the player isn't really effective in combat, and you'll be relying on your drone to do most of the heavy lifting. Of course, you can try to melee with your farm equipment, but it doesn't feel very good. I really wish there was some sort of dedicated weapon for the player character, like a sword with a 3-hit combo or a gun that shoots just in front of them. I know you can manually aim with the drone, but it's a drone, so it should automatically shoot for you. And also the manual aiming with the controller is not great. I love the art direction of Doloc Town. It's a big reason why I picked up the game in the first place. Long story short, it's pixel art with modern lighting and particle effects. I mean, just look at Doloc Town at night. I love seeing the soft glow of neon lights and the flickering street lamps. There's just something so wholesome about it. I don't know, maybe I'm just weird. The sprites remind me of an anime called Girls Last Tour, which is an anime I've never actually seen, but I've seen tons of clips and people talking about it, so it's that MOE shit. It's not a big secret that I don't like MOE stylization, but here I am complimenting the character designs because it works so well and is wholly unique from the other games within the genre. And next we come to the music. I really don't know how to describe the music, so I'll just let you listen to it for a bit. Generally speaking, I'm very happy with the early access of Doloc Town. Its approach to farming and its use of weather is unique to its contemporaries. It also has a crap ton of content in its early access, with tons more to be added later. I've spent about 20 hours playing the game and I'm nowhere near completing it. I still have a lot of crap I need to build, relationships to forge, equipments to upgrade, seeds to discover, and honestly just a lot more. It's a little bit overwhelming, I'm not gonna lie. I would definitely recommend checking out Doloc Town if you enjoy cozy games. Hell, I'm not even the biggest fan of cozy games, and I find myself really enjoying this one. If you're interested in any more video game reviews and impressions on honestly whatever the hell I feel like talking about, you should hit up this channel with a subscription. You should also like the video. Alright, I'm going to bed now. Reminder, bump the camera up so my dick isn't in the video.